All right.
Wait, you just want me to hit the thing?
Just hit it.
Wait, we didn't.
Hello. Hello.
Hi,
I'm Madison.
I'm Frani.
I'm Logan.
I'm Bridget.
Oh,
And we're Cinema Crosscut.
We're crossing the cinemas because they're not open right now.
Hey. But you know what is open?
The McDonald's and the drive-in.
That's what I was gonna say.
Also,
you're gonna say McDonald's?
No, I was gonna say
That's
the
why
drive-in.
I was like, wow.
I was gonna say it, but then I was kind of slow on it because the computer popped something up while I was trying to tell my joke.
Is it stop the recording?
No.
Because we'll be real mad if in an hour we check and it's like,
No,
oh,
it's still recording.
all
No,
we got
it's
was the
definitely
McDonald's take. That's all we got.
It's definitely recording.
That's all we got.
What were you gonna say, Franny? You sounded like you're
I
gearing up
forget.
for
No,
something.
no, that's Franny.
That's
Bridget.
Bridget.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say,
obviously,
Bridget?
I'm Bridget.
We should probably stop this now
Who's
before it
flying
gets...
the plane?
Oh no!
If I'm out here and Wee's out there, and who's the caveman? Have you seen that video?
What? No.
It's
No.
Shaggy Doo talking to Fred, and somebody edited it, and there's like a caveman like frozen in ice. He's like, if you're out here and I'm in there and he's in there and you're out here, then who's the caveman?
I think
That
I've seen
sounds
that
amazing.
I
actually.
hate it.
We should definitely bring this little bit back for when we finally do Scoob!
Scoob!
Exclamation point.
Scoop.
Oh,
What we
God.
should do a double Scoob.
A
double
Scoob.
Yeah,
Scoob?
a double scoop.
I think people are tired of us doing Scooby-Doo.
No, actually, everybody that has talked to me about listening, by the way, personal friends are like, your best episode, Scooby-Doo.
Didn't you say that somebody said that they hated it because we think that Scooby-Doo is like the best movie in the world,
That
which it
is
is?
one person, and that's what art is when people disagree.
Fair enough.
So I'm thinking we do Scoob, and then we do either the one with the aliens or Cyber Chase.
I would love
And
that.
I've seen like none of
Cyber
these
Chase.
movies.
Cyber
So
Or Zombie Island.
It'll be a
but either
fresh
one's fine.
watch for me. I've never seen them.
What about the ones with the cats? The cat people.
No, fuck that one. that's Zombie Island, I think, or Spooky Island.
I have no idea. Like,
Zombie
I
Island.
remember watching all these movies, but I can't distinguish them from each other.
If we watch
I remember
anything
the
with
cat
cat
ones.
people, we have to do edibles again.
What about when
Yeah,
Shaggy's like a werewolf and he's hanging out with Dracula?
Ooh.
Dude,
yeah,
I remember that one.
and he's
so
wearing
clear.
a
It was my
red shirt.
favorite.
Scandal.
Yeah, I remember that was my favorite.
That's good stuff.
That's not. It wasn't. Was Scoob there?
I have
don't
no fucking
remember.
idea.
I
How
don't
the fuck
think so.
is there a Scooby-Doo movie without Scoob? But I don't remember him being
You know
there.
what I remember really vividly is when Scooby-Doo and the gang met Batman and Robin.
Did you know there's just a Daphne
Love
and Velma
that.
solo movie?
What?
That's great for them.
Is that just gay porn?
I was
I
like,
think-
maybe we should do Scoob and then Daphne and Velma and see how it, because I've heard mixed things. I've heard it's
I mean-
bad and I've heard it's really bad.
I've heard it's bad.
But it does
All right.
exist. It's a legitimate. It's like they're in high school.
oh,
and they're
okay,
dealing
okay.
with
I think I
stoners.
have heard of this.
Yeah, maybe we should watch it.
I've heard, but also I've heard that Scoob! Exclamation point isn't that good.
I've heard that too. But fuck people, because we're gonna find out for ourselves.
But
'cause
I
we're
mean, no, I'm
Scooby-Doo
just saying, well, like,
diehards.
I also want to watch a good Scooby-Doo movie, you know?
So then we should do Cyber Chase, right?
Like Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Cyber chased.
So, well, okay. The thing is, I want to save that for like a special,
Okay.
because
fair
Franny
enough.
hasn't seen it ever.
I fucking love Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
I disagree with you. I think it's okay,
I think it's great.
but I think that
I
you
don't-
being a hardcore fan of the animation, like how faithful it is. Me
Yeah.
being a hardcore fan of good movies, find it somewhat good and somewhat boring. Anyway,
Are you saying that you think Coolsville sucks?
I think Coolsville sucks. I do. I really do.
Um,
I think that
I
any
think-
movie, any movie where they try to convince me that gorgeous ass Velma falls in love with Seth Green is full of shit.
Bridget used to be in love with Seth Green.
Don't dox me. I was
I
like,
have to.
What was there? What was it about Seth Green? Was it his lack of talent, or
His just weird look about him.
you like watch Without a Paddle and you're like, that's my hubby right there.
No.
That's the one.
I
You watched
mean,
him
I
play
did
Dr.
after.
Evil's son in Austin Powers, and you were like, wow,
I never watched.
he gets me.
Hold on.
Wait, what?
You've never
I
seen
wasn't
Austin
allowed
Powers?
to watch Austin Powers.
Arctic
I
Powers.
mean, we were, like,
Powers.
a lot of you probably weren't allowed to talk to strange men on the internet, but you did that. So I don't understand why that's your
like-
excuse.
It's basically the movie of talking to strange men on the internet. It's the actualization, because he's just a strange man, and
He's
the world
just
is his
gross.
internet. The Tom Cruise joke in Goldmember, I still think is like one of the best jokes of the whole like series. I love that shit so much.
I like my favorite joke in Austin Powers is like when he first wakes up and he like thinks that the communists won the Cold War. It's really funny to me. And he's like, just like capitalism groovy. That was my really bad Mike Myers' Austin Powers impression.
Yeah,
Groovy, baby.
Yeah, babe. And then
We shouldn't do this.
What is the bastard's name? What is his full name? Fat, dirty, ugly bastard.
I
something?
just think it's Fat Bastard.
Is it
right?
Fat Bastard? He's the greatest character to come to cinema.
I
I've
like.
never seen this.
I love
either.
him. He pulls a turkey leg out from underneath his man tit, and that's big dick energy to me. If there ever was one.
I also just really like Dr. Evil and his son Seth Green.
Yeah, that the whole Doctor Evil concept with the Seth Green character too is like one of the funnier parts.
It's everything to me. The fact that you haven't seen Austin Powers is really upsetting to me because I like unironically
Franny,
love
have
it
you
a lot.
seen it?
No,
They've
I have
never.
not.
Neither
That's
of
really sad.
We should do a podcast.
Yeah, we should review
I
it.
mean, we could do that.
we could. Do we just do all three? Do we sit down?
That
and
would be
commit?
fun. I mean, it would be fun for the beginning and then get a little less fun as you go along.
Yeah.
But
Oh no.
Yeah, that'd be tough, but it might be. Well, what if we? Okay, what? Okay, so Austin
Maybe bonus
Powers.
pod material.
He's like pretty much an agent, right? Like that's what he is. So what about when Bond comes out? We review that, and we also review Austin
yes,
Powers
because he's like a Bond parody, so
Yeah.
we should totally do that.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
That would actually be really fun.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So Powers meets Bond. That'd be
Yes.
good. All right.
I'm pretty sure. Do you guys remember the YouTube channel of Your Epic Rap Battles of History?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they did that exact epic rap battle of history.
You don't-
Did I rip off ERB on accident?
We also
You might
have
have.
to review that
We
rap
could just-
battle.
We can
Like,
just do
here-
Fallout instead. I mean, Mission Impossible.
Here,
we can
listen
just
to
do
this.
that.
Like, this it's my trigger for you. Like, Austin Powers versus James Bond. Again.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's how they talk.
Yeah, he does. My favorite is Mr. T versus Mr. Rogers. That's
That's a
one of
good
the
one.
greatest of all time.
I used to love that shit.
It was just like so good at the time.
I mean, like when they like once a year put out a Hitler Vader episode, that was like peak, you know,
Which
peak
like
middle
now
school
looking
cringe.
back is like, wow, that's
it's like
really,
you shouldn't have done it, but
that's
like
really fucked. But okay.
Oh my God.
It was okay in those times. Times have changed now.
we were all right with it then.
And then I remember thinking, wow, the Mario Brothers versus the Wright Brothers, like this is awesome. And like that concept out loud sounds so fucking stupid.
I also feel like they progressively got stupider too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, they ran out like
yeah, like you
I-
eventually you run out of things.
Oh, another good one was Dr. Seuss versus Shakespeare. That was incredible.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was iconic.
They did one where it was like a bunch of movie directors, and I ate that shit up.
I'm sure you did.
It started out being like Kubrick versus Hitchcock, but then it was like,
You mispronounced both of those names in one go.
how did I
Kubrick and Hitchcock. You said Kubrick and Hitchcock.
shut up?
I swear you listen back
Okay.
to it. You mispronounced both names.
Kubrick versus Hitchcock.
Yes.
But then like other directors would come in, like Quentin Tarantino had a segment, and then like Michael Bay came in, like they were making fun of Michael Bay because
Okay,
it was like
good.
a bunch
That's
of
good. I
explosions
was like,
as
I
he
don't know
come in.
if I don't know if I would agree with.
I think
Michael Bay.
he had a line in that epic rap battle of history that was like just motherfucking money. Like I think that was his like signature move.
Yeah,
there.
I'll give him that. He's very good at making money.
Yeah, I mean he makes a lot of it. And
he
props
took the
to him.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He gave them weird, very human-like
He
features.
made them terrifying.
They tried to fuck Megan Fox, and that was like a quarter, like.
Isn't that the one with
$1 million.
Noel Fisher in it? Madison.
I mean, I guess I don't like those.
Wasn't the most recent
Those
one?
turtles terrify me, and I
Johnny
refuse
Knoxville
to see it.
voiced one. That's
I'm
all I
pretty sure.
know.
I'm pretty sure Noel Fisher was
No
one of them.
official
Noel Fisher.
Okay, Hitchcock.
Hitchcock. That's Hitchcock's lesser known younger brother, Hitchcock.
He's a bird that travels around hitching tents.
Nice.
Are you just
He's Mr.
humming
Hitchcock.
our intro
Yes.
music?
What are we doing? Like we've talked about everything other than what we're doing.
Because
on this
I don't.
episode.
Okay, so we went to the drive-in,
Drive-in.
and what we did, we drove in, and
Stranded at the drive-in, as that song from Grease goes. Branded a fool. What will they say? Monday.
there's a
at
spotlight
school.
actually physically on Madison right
Yeah,
now.
it's
She's
really
saying-
impressive. The lights have
It just
dimmed.
came out of nowhere.
I love Grease a
We have a
lot.
full house.
We need to do a Grease episode.
I love Grease more than life.
Same.
Two is very avoidable. Anyway,
Yeah, no, I don't love Grease 2 more than life.
yeah, Grease 2 is a tough time. Grease 2 is that sequel where you're like, you should have just
Like, why did you make this?
Left it alone.
And
Leave it
then, like,
alone.
it's also sad because Frenchie is still there. Like, everyone's graduated, but, like, Frenchie is there.
Oh, God.
I mean, she did drop out to go to beauty school, so I guess that did set her behind.
Yeah. And then she dropped out of beauty school too. So there's that.
Yeah, I know. She has a real commitment issue.
She really does.
That girl.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
went
so
to the drive-in.
We went to the drive-in and we saw Bloodshot. And there's a few things I learned from our experience. For one, if you go to a drive-in, there will be somebody trying to sell you weed out in the open, and they don't care. And you will not buy it because you're on like public grounds where like there's clearly like a lot of police around. And then the other thing you'll learn is people don't care about social distancing anymore, and it's kind of upsetting.
Oh, you don't know what I learned is that the drive-in doesn't have fucking Swedish fish.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you ever find that Swedish fish?
No, I never found those fucking Swedish fish.
Fuck me.
I haven't found them either. I swear to God, we bought you Swedish fish.
Yeah, so we went to the drive. So we were going to the drive-in. We stopped at the gas station beforehand, and they got me Swedish fish, and then we couldn't find them.
I think that cashier
and the drive-in
to hand it to us.
Yeah, and then the drive-in does not sell Swedish fish.
But they
and I
sold
think that's bullshit.
Snow caps, which is like my favorite. So.
I had to settle for fucking Twizzlers.
What a shame. But yeah.
Don't know how you ever recovered.
I don't know.
It was weird because like they're trying to implement some social distancing, but then also just not giving a fuck. And we were parked right next to these like 3 high school girls they literally were making TikToks the whole time. I heard them talking about it. It was disgusting.
Were those the people in the convertible that were way too close to us?
Yeah, and then in the middle of the movie, these more high schoolers pulled in a convertible.
A gaggle
parked,
of them.
Yeah, a whole fucking gaggle of them. Parked in between us and the car that was parked next to us in not a spot. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
because they were all ready to have an orgy during
right.
fucking Bloodshot. So
Right, none of them were watching it.
Also, the drive-in, as many drive-ins do, play 2 movies back to back. But we left after the first movie because we didn't really want to see the second. It was Fantasy Island. Bridget and I have already seen it.
And me
it's
and Franny have
terrible,
already
but
seen
it's
it
also
in a
fun experience to watch. So,
but anyway, so like as we're pulling out, this like man, like or like as we're getting ready to get into the car, we hadn't like actually left yet. You guys weren't there, Franny and Logan. It was just me and Bridget.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey," like he was motioning to me, and so he rolls down the window, and I'm like, "What's up, dude?" And he was like, "You know, there's another movie after this, right?" And I was like, "What the, dude? I don't need your help. I got it. Thank you."
like he literally tried
like,
to.
Let a man ever try to tell me anything.
Oh my God.
That's so ridiculous.
I was like, yeah, I know.
I just heard this story for the first time just now, and I.
Oh, really? I didn't tell you that at the time.
I thought we told you. Maybe we told Franny.
I think, yeah, I remember it, but
I think I was looking for my wallet at the time because I was.
Oh
freaking
yeah,
the fuck out.
you lost your wallet.
Yeah,
that's true.
It was a time.
But Bloodshot though.
Oh God.
Okay, so first of all, for those Vin Diesel stands out there, I have negative thoughts about.
First off,
Vin
why
Diesel.
are you a Vin Diesel stan?
No, wait, we have one in the room.
Oh, no.
Do we?
Yeah, you know, I was never really a Vin Diesel stan or even a Vin Diesel fan, but I listened to, there's this podcast that I listened to. It's called The Flophouse, and I really like it. They review bad movies. They're like what we do, but it's bad movies, and they're better at it. Well, not that they're better at it, but they're better at having people listen to it, I think.
We do keep talking over each other, which is like completely, you can't
I mean, they do that as well, but like they have
like,
more, they have a listener base that is larger than ours. Not to say that they're better at podcasting than we are, but...
It's only been a few months.
But yeah, it hasn't been that long.
We
They've
really
been doing it for
haven't
years.
been,
But anyway,
you know.
it's called The Flophouse, and they review bad movies. And they recently put out an episode on Bloodshot, and they had a guest on the podcast whose name is Griffin Newman, who's on a different podcast, but whatever, it doesn't matter. But he is a big Vin Diesel stan. He's like the big stan. He's the biggest Vin Diesel stan. And I have to say that he kind of convinced me a little bit, like as to the merits of Vin Diesel. So,
what are those merits?
Yeah, and educate us, enlighten us.
Because it wasn't this movie.
I mean, maybe not in this movie, but like he always plays these like hyper masculine characters, right? And this is articulated better in the other podcasts that I mentioned, but like the gist of it is that he's always playing these hyper masculine characters, but he's also almost like in on the joke of these characters being so hyper masculine, hyper like macho, and it's really interesting considering like he kind of grew up around like drag communities, as to my understanding, like, you know, dressing in drag and things like that. Mm-hmm. And so he's almost doing like a drag persona of this like hyper masculine man. And I think that he's like he's like on the joke in a way that like other action stars aren't. So you still kind of have to love Vin Diesel a little bit because he's like sort of aware of it.
But that doesn't excuse his like shitty acting though.
Well, no, I'm not saying I think he's a great actor by any means, but I think that he's sort of like, he is aware of what it is that he's doing. He's aware that like this isn't real. Whereas you look at other big action stars that are like him, like maybe The Rock comes to mind.
The Rock and Vin Diesel hate each other for
I know, but The Rock comes to mind where he's like, I feel like The Rock is like, yeah, I could actually do all this stuff. Whereas Vin Diesel's like, this is kind of ridiculous, right, guys? Like we all know it's a little crazy. And so I think that's sort of the appeal of Vin. That is, and so like I see that a little bit, and I think then like in terms of this movie being what it is, and like attempting to almost recreate the cliches of action movies, like Vin Diesel is the guy to do that, in my opinion. So I mean, I don't know. I think the more. I'm not saying I liked this movie. I still think this movie was kind of stupid. But the more that I think about it, like, it makes a little bit more sense to me what they were trying to do, not to say that they necessarily succeeded.
Okay, let's talk about why it's bad now.
Yeah, so we can do that. But yeah, I think that there's something good to be said about Vin Diesel and what he does generally.
So Bloodshot, the film, is actually based on a graphic novel that Weiboos just absolutely love. So let it be known that the anime cat ear community probably hated this movie more than we do. So R.I.P. to
them. My understanding,
Sorry,
this movie does not have a lot of similarity with the Bloodshot like character.
No.
Like at all. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't this supposed to like sort of kickstart a cinematic universe that probably isn't happening now?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
That's how most of these failed big blockbusters go, though.
Right.
Anybody see The Mummy with Tom Cruise? Holy shit, what a pile of fuck. My God.
A movie no one asked to be made.
Oh my God, sorry to go off tangent, but watch the accidentally released trailer on YouTube.
Oh my God, yes.
It is so fucking amazing.
I don't think I've seen it.
So it's not cut correctly. The sound hasn't mixed in right. So
okay.
All it has is talking and then Tom Cruise going, ah, like yelling. The whole, no music, no dramatic anything. And like, you know how when people, like they have like a little wince if somebody like for instance, there's a girl that gets shot out of the airplane. And of course there's usually music to it. And then also her going.
Music.
Yeah, I know. There's also music to it, but like also her going, ah, or like, yeah. All you hear is, yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good. When we take a break, I'll have to watch that.
Yeah,
because that's
so absolutely.
I wish that they would have learned something from that. All the studios, if they would have paid attention, but they didn't. So we got Bloodshot. The CG's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad for how expensive the movie is, and then it's just bad on its own.
Yeah,
I heard on the other podcast that I was talking about. Since I listened to a review of this movie, they mentioned that originally the final fight scene was meant to occur in the swimming pool. You know what I'm talking about? The swimming pool.
The one they made a big deal out of that they didn't
and then it didn't go anywhere. But then like that fight scene was so stupid and anticlimactic that they gave them more money to do that final scene, which still kind of looks like shit.
So
also, like, why did they give this guy like leftover Doc Ock props from Spider-Man 2? I'm just saying. Oof.
So
I used to love that movie though. You should just watch that movie.
Isn't there an easier way than convincing a man that his wife is dead to have a bunch of like they could have just put it in his brain that he needs to go kill, but they use this weird awful scenario.
I mean, I think in the movie's logic,
no,
that it doesn't work any other way. That like he needs to be driven by vengeance if it's gonna work.
Yeah, but there's a better way for like he could have just snapped out of like. What really the movie should have been is we turn you into a killing machine. He doesn't know it. Something jogs his physical memory. And then he's like, I'm not a killing machine. I'm Vin Diesel. I'm Bay. And he just like stops. But that's not what happened because they just kept repeating the same thing and made this like really, really kind of backwards and over the top scenario where a guy in coding somehow can code a specific song to play and a specific gangster to dance around and kill his wife. No, that's stupido. And it doesn't make and it'd be literally easier just to turn him into a killing machine. Like what they're doing is convoluted and extra.
Yeah.
And also, could get them copyright stricken because I don't think they had the rights to that music if they're using in that program. So YouTube, get on them, strike that video, you fucking assholes.
Oh shit, my mom is calling me. Can we pause for just 1 second?
Yeah.
Bridget, are you gonna put your?
No, I'm just gonna.
We're back.
That present pause did not work, did it?
Well, no,
Did
but
Franny
it's too late now.
Fuck!
Sorry.
Because
I
you can't
ruined
be
it.
bothered to edit 1 second.
No, I'm not doing it.
I soiled it.
Okay.
I will edit episodes if you people subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah.
For just $1 a month, I will actually put in a modicum of effort and edit an episode for you. I did it a couple times, but it just wasn't worth it.
I think it would have been worth it, but that's okay.
I mean, if you think it's worth it, you can do it, bud.
I will.
No, I got it.
She said, "Don't
Watch
take
me.
this away from
Well,
me."
they're all on my laptop though. Like, how would we?
We have
how would
another
we-
laptop. We could do it.
I still don't see how that would. I mean, whatever. If you
then I
want,
would be in charge of it.
if you want them edited, you can edit them. I'm not going to stop you. But I'm just saying it's.
Well, we could just record it on the other Mac then, and then I could edit it that way.
I mean, I get it. Like,
If we wanted to.
if we wanted, why are we talking
I
about
feel
this
like
now?
yeah, I feel
live
like this is
on
something
air?
we could talk about.
Because I had a literal note from somebody, hey, make sure you take pregnant pauses. And then
We tried.
Franny aborted our pregnant pause.
It wouldn't be an issue if you
I'm sorry,
people.
it was actually my fault. She was warning me.
Bridget was just sitting back in her chair, no headphones in.
Also, sorry.
Yeah, that's
if-
fine, because we hadn't started talking yet.
No,
right,
what?
it was
I was-
okay.
The amount you listen is very negative.
Also, sorry if you all can hear a bunch of background noise. It's really hot in here, so
Yeah.
we have like fans and AC and stuff.
Happy
also, I
June.
talked to my mom. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
wanted.
Well, because I said live that my mom was
Yeah.
calling me. I just, in case anybody was worried about that, it's all fine.
She called and she's like, you're a Vin Diesel stan now? And she's like, no, not really. She's like, oh, okay. She hung up.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what she said. She said, hey, I think you guys should do Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed next. Just kidding. She doesn't listen to this.
She doesn't.
She's even on an episode.
I know
which
she's
is-
in an episode and she doesn't listen to it.
That's so good.
My mom has barely listened to an episode, and that's the spooky one. And she listened to like 45 minutes of it, and then
Oh,
she
God.
stopped, and she's never gone back.
I've not told either of my parents about this. I doubt they'd
Did
listen
she not
if
like
they
Jeff
knew.
or something?
No, she hadn't gone to Jeff yet.
Oh.
She hadn't got through my whole piece, which is I'm like, great mom.
Wow.
Thanks.
That's not supportive at all.
I think she had to go and do something. Like she had to go to the store, so she stopped listening, and then she never went back. And I was like, great. Her only comment was like, okay, is it good? Because I was worried it was bad. And her only comment was, they interrupt you a lot. And I'm like, they're making jokes, Mom.
Fuck.
Oh.
Well, next time you can just talk free range. We won't say a damn word.
Yeah, we'll just sit here
Yeah.
silently.
That was what made mine good, I think.
I think we all interrupt each other a whole fucking lot.
We
Kind of
do.
what a podcast
We
is.
need a
Yeah.
talking stick.
I don't think she
a
knows.
talking planchette.
We do need to work on talking over each other, though. Because I feel like
What'd
we're
you
a bit
say? I wasn't.
talking over each other.
What?
You fucking...
Doing what now?
What?
I was like, what?
Talking about.
You should see the intense way they're looking at each other in this moment.
I know we were like making very serious eye contact.
I don't know how
I don't think
serious
we've
it
looked
is.
at each other like that since we had our hands on the Ouija board. A true bonding moment that we
Yeah.
had.
I was trying to recreate that earlier, and I could not do it.
I know that's because this thing was fucking moving. But
I
back
don't
to
like
Bloodshot.
to talk about it. Yeah, let's
I
move
don't
on.
like to talk about it.
I don't.
On to less serious topics. The movie Bloodshot.
Bloodshot.
Way less serious.
Starring
topic.
Van Diesel.
I feel my thing about Bloodshot is that like I feel like it didn't know what kind of superhero action movie it wanted to be. I feel like at times it wanted to be like, you know, cheesy 90s action movie vibes. And I feel at other times it wanted to sort of do what Deadpool did, which was be like funny but gritty. Like not gritty, but like funny but kind of darkly humorous.
It was Memento meets Taken, and then you have like diarrhea, just kind of like
Right.
gently
Like
spilled
I feel
over
like
it.
there were it wanted to be different things at times.
and
and-
they didn't want to have characters, which is real sad. Like characters make a movie good, and they didn't want those.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to like have interesting shots.
I mean, and there were like, yeah, like in regards to the character thing, there's a character in the movie, the guy with the legs, whose name I don't know.
The guy with the robotic legs.
Yeah, the cyborg.
Because otherwise
legs.
we're not narrowing it down here with that statement.
Yeah, but he was the guy with like the modified legs to make him go super fast and be super strong or whatever.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he absolutely hated the shit out of Vin Diesel for reasons that were never explained to me. I mean, because his job is like to be Vin Diesel's sort of like handler. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when he's out there doing his revenge shit, like he's the guy to bring him back. And he acts like he's like a friend to him because they're all in this like situation together.
Well, except for he doesn't act like it. Like,
well, no,
he's
but
supposed to, but he doesn't.
Well, no, I mean, like when Vin Diesel is like they're trying to like build up the memory thing, like he sort of acts like, oh, like this is like we're a family now, whatever, and then. But then, like, when they bring Vin Diesel in and they're about to wipe his memory and start over, he's, like, the biggest dick in the world to Vin Diesel. Like, he hates this man's guts for reasons that are never explained. No. Like, and it's like, why do you hate him so much? Why are you the villain of this fucking film?
And are we really going to have the only female character outlined be the love interest for no apparent reason other
and
than
the
that
fridged wife?
The wife was like, he showed up and he's like, hey, you're my wife, right? And she's like, sorry, fam, not anymore. Right. LOL. Here's my kid. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And he's like over here, like, I guess the only other female I know is her, so I better love her, I guess.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense to me because the time that they spend together is him being brainwashed.
Yeah.
And she is a character in the story that they're creating for him, essentially. Like, her job is to play this part for him.
It's to be sexy in, like, a tank of water and to be like, have a drink.
And to make him trust her.
That's it.
So that they can get to the next phase. And so, like, for them to, like, end up together and for her to have this, like, weird affinity to him.
Yeah, she literally just has, like, a robotic tracheotomy, and that's, like, her story.
Also, what a lame cyborg enhancement to have. Like, she breathed real good.
I'm sure there's people on the internet like, do you think she smokes through that? Like, it's so, like, the legs. I have new eyes. I'm completely redone. I have a metal tracheotomy and I can swim and look sexy in a pool.
Also, like, I don't know. I feel like the new eyes thing, like, you could definitely just toss a sheet over that guy and, like, disable him completely.
Or, like, put different eyes, like, just change out his eyes for real. Like, why didn't they give him... They have false eyes in reality. There are real fake eyes that do see.
Well, I guess the idea is that he can see he can see behind him and all that shit, too.
But they could have given him fake eyes and that. Like, it didn't have to be one or the other.
I guess that's true.
He can see behind him, but also he uses his real peepers to see in front of him because, like, it's weird that they're just, like, dead hanging out in there.
Also, his new eyes are chest level. Like, you know, because it's like it's not actually into him. It's like a vest that he wears.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, if he wants to see somebody's face, he has to, like, lean...
Yeah.
He has to lean back at them. It's just weird.
It's not a good design. Pretty much nothing in this movie was a good design.
Yeah, and the girl character, like, that was just lame. Like, her... I mean, I get why
you know what this movie was really trying to be? It was trying to be Upgrade. That's really what it was trying to be. I mean, really fucking hard. Like, we're going to shut him down in 10 seconds, and then you get shut down, but, like, not really, because...
And then...
Plot.
And then, yeah, like, just... The mechanics of how Vin Diesel's, like, body works in this movie, like the nanites and stuff, is just sort of like, yeah, it's nanites. Your body is nanites. And I'm like, okay, but I don't know what that means per se.
5 penis envy jokes, guys.
I know, there were a lot.
5.
3 by the same man.
Yeah, it was kind of...
Enough of the penis envy jokes. We get it. Vin Diesel's got a big dick. Everyone knows it. Great.
Right, look at him, dude.
Great.
Like, you know he's got a big dick.
He's got a big dick. We get it. He's the hero with the big dick. But it's the Indian guy in the movie, which is like, so stereotypical they make it him.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
And then they're trying to make me believe that the black man who is apparently from the UK but is actually an American actor also has penis envy for no reason. Twice.
Shit.
Why? Why are we doing this?
And I just like...
You think Vin Diesel was like, hey, like, I'm going to do this movie. You guys aren't paying me that much. Can we just, like, talk about my dick at least 5 times? Because that's funny to me.
Yeah, I mean, and, like, I don't know. I just didn't like that, what's his name? Wiggins?
Oh, yeah, Wiggins, yeah.
I did not like that accent that he was... I don't understand why that accent was necessary.
Or why the character Wiggins was necessary.
It was on par with, like, Don Cheadle's accent in the Ocean's movies. Which is notoriously bad. Like, it's like the same thing. And I'm like,
Don Cheadle's bae, though. I love Don Cheadle.
I do love him, yeah. But, like, I was like, is that the joke you're going for? Like, are you going for a Don Cheadle Ocean's 11 thing? But I think that he was playing it very seriously.
Yeah.
That's the guy that...
New Girl.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's not British in his shows.
Way better job in New Girl.
I mean, I think the standards were a little bit lower, but yeah. I think
for Bloodshot, the New Girl, definitely.
No, I meant like it doesn't take a lot to be good in New Girl because it's all Zooey Deschanel, and if she's bad, the rest of them are bad.
Right. I mean, like New Girl is just Zooey Deschanel walking around being quirky, and that does the work
the toxic
for
pixie dream girl the whole time.
Right.
Who'll eat a whole bag full of tacos. She swears like that's her sass. Like I'll eat a whole bag of tacos, and I'm different than others.
Don't fucking make fun of it. I love it.
I'm just saying what it is.
Bangs.
I have bangs, and I'm
Me
mysterious.
too.
I'm also quirky, and I'll say things that aren't really like kosher or right to say, but I'll mean it in a sweet way.
Shut up. She's
That's
perfect.
New Girl. That is New Girl.
And
that
I
is
love
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind as well. But whatever. Anyway, sorry, went on a rant. Also, that's also Funny Man and Yes Man.
I don't think I've seen a Funny Man.
It's not very good.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Frank?
No.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like it.
He was like a toxic pixie puppet in a way.
Toxic pixie puppet.
Anyway, his accent was terrible in the film. Terrible. Like not even
and his character doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
No.
Because he talks about himself as like being sort of like an indentured servant to this guy that's like the enemy of Guy Pearce's character. But then it's like it's not super clear why he decides to help Vin Diesel unless it's because of his big dick.
That's what I'm saying, like the big dick.
Yeah, like I don't understand the mechanics of why this man chooses to help.
I've never seen a land whale. I need to do something about this.
And like because the idea of this character is that he's like a sort of I get the idea that they want him to be sort of like a shifty, like kind of go where the money goes guy, but like I don't see how he benefits from Vin Diesel. Like I just don't
have
get
the argument
that
for this one. Not to be
okay.
contrary.
I mean that's fine. Like if you can explain to me, please.
He was working for the guy that he barely didn't save right before him, and then Vin Diesel saw the guy's face, so he's like, "Fuck! Now I have to help you, or you're gonna kill me."
But I don't think that Vin Diesel ever gave him any indication that he was gonna kill him.
No. Because what's gonna happen is,
and also Vin Diesel forgot about him for a while.
Well, okay, but here's the thing, though. Remember how they get a hold of his memory stuff, and then they, put a person in his mind.
Yeah.
If he didn't help him, they would have got Vin Diesel back, put him in his mind. So he's like, okay, my goal is to save you right now.
I guess that's true.
Sense.
Doesn't make it good. It just makes it what it is.
Yeah.
That's just what happened. The movie.
It took me a really long time to figure out that was Guy Pearce in this movie. I don't know why.
No. It's like a Memento ripoff, and then there's...
Yeah.
There he is right there.
There he is. For some reason, watching this movie, the thought occurred to me that, like, Guy Pearce kind of looks like a knockoff Christian Slater. And I think we could discuss that.
There are people who consider Guy Pearce to be more of a celebrity than Christian Slater.
No, I just mean in appearance. Like...
you've had this... This is not to hate. This is the third, maybe second, but probably the third time you've been like, doesn't it seem like there's people who are almost famous people that look like famous people in this movie? You say that all the time. And I'm shutting it down right now.
You do this in so many movies. They just look vaguely like each other.
You did the same thing with Identity, and I think one other movie too. You're like, this person kind of looks like somebody famous, but they're not. And I'm just like, but that. No,
I have to say that all men kind of look the same to me.
Okay.
They do a little bit.
I'm not surprised.
Like we were watching There Will Be Blood the other day, which is a great movie, but in the beginning, I could not tell one white man oil prospector from the other. I was like, y'all
so different.
You all look the damn same.
Okay, but like you put Chris Rock next to Vin Diesel, you got a difference there.
Well, obviously I know the difference between Chris Rock and Vin Diesel. Chris Rock is short.
Okay, there's two men. They're both astonishingly handsome as they get older.
Logan has that problem with white blonde women when we watch The Bachelor. 100%.
Oh, I mean, they all look the damn same because they typecast.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
and it's hilarious.
That's not even hate. Like that's just like they do that shit on purpose.
Also, like when I watch like Scorsese mob movies, I have a hard time keeping track of the who's who.
Okay, that's also understandable though.
Because they're all just like these like kind of short, dark-haired Italian guys, and they're like, "What's the matter with you?"
Yeah, what's the matter with you?
I'm like, I don't know who's who right now. The best thing about The Irishman was that it was very easy to distinguish between Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in this movie.
Yeah.
It's very clear who was being who at this moment.
As you can tell by our review of Bloodshot, we really didn't care for it very much.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like it's not the worst movie you could ever see, but it's also not that good. But like,
it suffers from the worst thing a movie can do.
Yeah, it's just kind of like whatever.
Boring.
There are some good like shots in there, I think. There's some kind of good lighting things that are happening, but other than that, there's not really a whole lot going for it.
You can say the same thing about like a shitty student film. So
well, yeah. I mean,
I don't think that gives it any
like
merit.
the only scene that I really like that really stood out to me as being like this is a good scene that I like watching was when he sort of has that first fight in the tunnel and it's all lit by it's lit by flares and then there's sort of like the flower,
which you can see 70% of it in the trailer, y'all.
Well, that's the thing. In the trailer, like I almost would have liked this movie better if there was a bit of a twist in a way.
But the thing is, the twist is like the issue with the trailer is it gave you the twist early because this movie plays with you on whether this is really like you don't know that they're going to keep resetting him according to the movie, but by the trailer you know that, and they literally spend like 40 minutes before they let you know like this isn't real. And then when he comes back, they're gonna reset his mind.
Yeah, and so knowing that watching the first like 40 minutes of the movie, it's sort of like, okay, what am I watching this for then? But if the trailer hadn't given that away and it had sort of played this, it's like one man's quest for revenge.
And then my other issue is that the character Vin Diesel plays, don't remember his name, we'll call him Bloodshot.
I mean,
Monsieur
Mr. Bloodshot. Mr. Shot.
Mr. B.
Please, Mr. Shot was my father. Call me Blood.
He did all these horrible things, and he feels regret about other things, but he doesn't show any physical or emotional regret. Even though he wasn't responsible for it, any decent character would be riddled with guilt of all the murders he committed. Yeah. And it's so obvious he's like, I'm on beach with hot girl now. Times are good.
Right.
Like, he literally is the fuck over it.
And then also, like, it tries to, because every Vin Diesel movie is, like, a little bit about family. It tries to, make the three of them, Wiggins, Hot Girl, and Vin Diesel, into a little
the
family.
Fast and Furious movies. Although Riddick is not about family. It's about being in the desert and having goggles.
Can we just review
it's like we're family now because we're all outcasts from this, like, thing.
What was better, The Pacifier or Spy Next Door?
The Pacifier. I haven't seen Spy Next Door, but I think we should do a Vin Diesel week.
The Pacifier.
No. I'm gonna. Can we redact that?
We should just start a Vin Diesel podcast. What are we doing here? Why are we not just a Vin Diesel podcast right now?
We're driving this van on diesel, y'all.
Oh God, what a guy he is.
Yeah.
I don't know how much else I really have to say about Bloodshot other than that it's a movie and it's fine.
It's not fine.
It's okay.
I literally could have slept through it and I would have understood more.
It's worse than a bad movie because it's so fucking boring.
Also, like, I don't know. Leave the talking heads out of it, dude.
What?
The Talking Heads, the band.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
Psycho Killer.
Yeah, Psycho Killer, yeah. Oh.
And many other great songs.
And, yeah. Leave Penis Envy out of it. We don't need any more of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like...
This movie had so many plot points driven by BDE. That was it.
And then like just things that like looked like they would be significant but then weren't, like sort of the pool thing.
Yeah.
And obviously there's an explanation as to why that seemed like it would be significant but then wasn't, but I don't know. Just stuff like that. I'm just saying like when David Fincher did Psycho Killer at the end of that one Mindhunter episode, that was the only time we ever needed that song to be in,
I'm so
in a
sad
film.
It's not going to come back. Like, it makes me so
Isn't
mad.
it?
Well, the issue is that they waited too long to re-sign the contract, so all the actors have different jobs right now.
I'm upset.
So they have to wait till everybody's freed up because that's what Netflix does. No, it's Netflix's fault. Because they're like, because they decided to give David full creative control, which, you know, it's one thing. But the difference is that they pretty much were like, oh, we're not going to set you to a set schedule. Dumbasses.
Yeah.
Dumbasses.
That's unfortunate.
Like, you know, like, for instance, House of Cards was very David Fincher-esque, but they had other people work on it.
Yeah.
They probably should have done the same for, you know, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of sad, but I love Mindhunter, though.
Me too. It's great. It's great
stuff.
It
is
really
great.
Good.
But anyway, let's talk about the ratings.
Yeah, I think that we've exhausted Bloodshot and other topics.
All right.
Oh no.
You want me to go first?
You can go first if you want.
I'm going to give this a 2 out of 10.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
I would give it like a D+. Like, I mean, it's not egregious to me. It's just kind of whatever. And I think that like it ultimately didn't know what it wanted to do, and it really wanted to kickstart a franchise that they thought was going to be like, like, I imagine that when this went through the minds of the people pitching the Bloodshot movie, and then subsequently what is it, Valiant? Is that the name of the comic books? Mm-hmm. And then like a subsequent Valiant franchise, they were probably like, yeah, this is going to be sort of like the like, almost indie response to like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's going to be, a little lesser known, a little more gritty and dark, and like they just
watch Umbrella Academy. It's better,
right? And they just didn't achieve what they wanted to do with it, which was like sort of do a darker, sort of not mainstream cinematic universe in order to like draw a new and interesting crowd. And I just don't think that they did that.
They couldn't commit to the R rating. Like they couldn't do it.
And I think that they suffered from not knowing whether they wanted this to be a dark, gritty superhero movie or like action movie in the style of Fast and Furious, or like superhero movie in the style of Deadpool, where it's like funny and like off-color type humor. Like, and I think that they couldn't pick which one they wanted to do and tried to do them all and didn't really succeed at doing any of them.
This movie,
which I think is something that a lot of movies suffer from. It's like they try to do many things which are popular and fail at all of them, where it's like if you just picked one thing and really tried really hard to make that kind of movie and just committed to it, you would have a much better time and make a much better movie. But when you try to spread yourself thin over many concepts that don't gel together, I think you fail.
I think this movie won't give you any pain.
Yeah,
but it also will give you nothing.
Yeah,
you get nothing out of watching it.
You could do many better things with your time than watch Bloodshot. But also, like, if you like a cheesy action movie and like that's all you're really looking for, then I mean, this is fine. This is
for the people who like Rampage out there. This movie's for you. Like, if you like cheesy popcorn action films, that
don't have a lot of like deeper substance to it, like that's fine. This is your movie.
If you're a Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom kind of guy, this is you. So bad.
Hated that fucking movie.
I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
Very low.
The 0.5 is because I enjoyed making fun of Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how much I didn't like watching Vin Diesel movies, except The Pacifier. I never mean The Pacifier.
I just remember the funniest thing when he's going off and be like, "You don't know anything about me." Like that acting in that scene is actually, get a clip of that and watch that.
It's great.
That is amazing.
All around, his acting was awful. He hasn't been good since The Pacifier. He will never live up to that standard again in my mind. So pass.
I'm gonna give it a 2, just because I enjoyed being with y'all. I liked the pizza we had. I liked the good times that we
10 out
shared.
of 10 on the experience.
Yeah,
though.
no, I mean,
10 out of 10 on experience.
So we all agree
but
this movie was not Groot.
Was not what?
Was not Groot.
oh wow,
Are you saying
He's Groot. Vin Diesel.
Oh, you're right. He is Groot.
Damn,
I forgot
y'all.
about that.
I thought we were a fucking film
no,
podcast.
I was
like,
with
what are we
you.
talking
She was
about,
with me.
dude?
I saw her realization in her eyes when I said it.
I was like, wow,
I didn't know
you
what
really
the fuck we were talking about.
I thought that was going to be a big hit, y'all. All the my dad out there is going to clap to that one.
Please clap.
Please clap.
It wasn't great. It was not good.
No.
So yeah, that's Bloodshot. So are we gonna take a break?
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have a little thing in the middle.
Yeah. So should we do this before we go?
No, we should break it up to know that it's technically an advertisement. I mean, it's
And
not,
we're going to
but it
have
is.
some goddamn pregnant pauses.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna pregnantly pause this time, and when we come back, we're gonna do a little thing, and then bad times at the El Royale.
Woo!
All right. All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
So before we get back to talking about movies and shit, we want to talk about something more important than movies, which is all of the stuff that's going on right now regarding police brutality and racism in police forces and the protests that are happening. And so we want to give a minute and shout out to what we think is a very worthy cause, and we hope you think it is too. So we just want to tell you to donate to your local bail funds or bail bond funds. That's really important. People are out here protesting and people are out here making real change. But unfortunately, they're being arrested, they're being detained, and we don't think that's right. We don't think that's fair because they're exercising their rights to protest. So we just want to go ahead and again tell you to donate to your local bail funds or donate to a national bail fund. And you can do that using, and I'll put this link in the description, bailfunds.github, so that's .github.io, and it gives you a list of both national bail funds and state-by-state ones. So we live in Cincinnati. I donated to the Cincinnati Bail Fund. If you feel strongly about this, as well you should. You should donate to your local bail fund. So that's our little plug for this episode.
It's a very scary time, not just in the U.S. right now, but for everybody like in the world. So it's really important that you're on the right side of history right now, like we are. We obviously stand with Black Lives Matter, and we want to support it any way we can. So we figured we would take the time in this episode to enforce you guys who want to support that maybe didn't know how to reach out and do so. So
yeah, and I mean, donating money is like one of the easiest and most effective ways that you can support like this movement, because people can't protest if they're in jail, people can't lead movements, and people can't fight for justice if they're in jail. So even if you can't go out and do that stuff, even if you can't be in a protest, like you can donate $5 to help somebody get out of jail who's been wrongfully imprisoned.
Right.
So yeah, that's that.
That's it. Well, thank you guys, and also like because we'll probably mention at the end of the episode too, but we're gonna have a sort of Black Lives Matter themed episode next week where we talk about these kind of issues with the films we'll be discussing. So
yeah,
thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen.
Yeah, we want to highlight Black filmmakers and ways that they don't that like those films don't often get highlighted. So we want to do that. We're for white people, but we're gonna try our damnedest. to do that to do that and like make that a focus of our next week. Yep.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more later, but
we'll get back to the episode now. Thank you.
Thank you.
You don't want to thank them for any?
Thank you.
There we go.
All right.
Heidi ho, Smarty Mart shoppers. We are talking about a different movie now.
A good movie now.
I think so.
I agree.
I really liked it.
Not everybody thinks so, though. Funny enough.
Huh. I really like this movie.
I do too.
The movie in question is Bad Times at the El Royale, and I love this movie. I thought it was great.
I've seen it 3 times, and I love it every time. So
I think
catch
it's really
different
good.
things each time. Still,
I low key thought that this movie was Hotel Artemis.
So that
which I think is a common mistake that a lot of people make.
There's a huge issue that happened where the film studios, and I think it was actually a competitive thing that they were doing on purpose to fuck each other.
Right.
Hotel Artemis was, I think the people who made the film kind of knew it was going to be a bust, but they had a really great ad campaign for the film, and it was so good that when people were told, hey, go see Bad Times at the El Royale, they confused the movies.
Hotel Artemis?
Yeah, exactly. Or they said, like, oh, I already saw that, it was terrible. And then word spreads that, oh, this hotel movie that came out is terrible. I mean, it was literally within a week of each other. So,
I mean,
kind of intense.
I saw Hotel Artemis like in theaters when it came out, and I mean, I didn't like hate it violently or anything.
I mean, I love Sterling K. Brown, but I feel like the movie itself is just kind of.
It was okay. I mean, it was all right, but that's not what this is about. Like,
it felt kind of like a low budget, like early stage, like Blumhouse film. You know, it kind of felt Purge-esque.
But then somehow after seeing that movie. This movie, Bad Times at the El Royale, was just not on my radar, and I didn't see it until we watched it together after we saw it. So what we did is we saw Bloodshot at the drive-in and then came home and then watched Bad Times at the El Royale, all of us together.
I'm a huge stan for this movie, and I defended
love this
it.
movie.
When I worked at a video store, I defended it constantly because people were like, oh, it's a Tarantino ripoff, it's this and that. And if you don't know...
I don't see that. Like, I see the ways in which it is inspired by Tarantino.
Well, I mean, Drew Goddard came out and said that this film wouldn't exist without Tarantino.
Right, and I think that's true, but I don't think that makes it a ripoff. Like, you look at a movie like, for example, Joker. That is a ripoff of another movie. So that is you took Taxi Driver and you just spun it around a little, did a little different.
So this is Drew Goddard's sophomore effort.
What has he done before?
The Cabin in the Woods. So if you guys,
yeah. So, I actually like that movie.
So what's really funny is that he is exactly the film boy. Like, he loves movies.
Yeah.
And so Cabin in the Woods is a love letter parody to like every teen slasher.
Right.
So when he made this Tarantino flick, he was doing the same thing. He's like, I'm gonna make a Tarantino flick, but make it my own. And there are a lot of people who think like he's just like stolen the swag, he's stolen the style, it's not original. But if you watch this film, it definitely has like flavorings of something really different.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like I see a lot of similarities to this movie and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But I also don't necessarily think that's I don't see this movie as taking a Tarantino story and repurposing it for your own thing. I see it as taking his own story and being inspired by like Quentin Tarantino's style of filmmaking, which I'll again compare it to something like Joker, where that basically took the story of Taxi Driver and King of Comedy and spun it around and like put fucking Joaquin Phoenix in it.
Yeah, one of my
and not to say that Joaquin Phoenix didn't do amazing, because he did, but like
one of my constant arguments
it's different though. Like what that movie did is different than what a movie like Joker did.
Yeah, where it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But the one of the constant arguments that I always like had as a rebuttal was people be like, it's just like Tarantino. And I'm like, what Tarantino flick is it where they're all in a motel and there's like secretly recording porn and like what film did Tarantino make where it's that film?
Yeah.
I mean, like, sure, maybe it's a little like Identity, but it's not at the same time.
It's a little like Identity.
The fact is that people are what they saw was.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, what they saw.
I refuse to entertain that thread of the conversation.
What they saw was a not so big budget film that isn't a superhero movie, hit theaters with Chris Hemsworth and all this other stuff.
Stylistically interesting.
And for them, they think that stylistic, because the thing is about this movie, and Madison sometimes suffers from this, but I feel like she has overcome it, is the like impatience of intrigue, right? Like where something is kind of confusing, you don't know what it is yet, and you just want to fucking like figure it out, and you're annoyed with it.
That is 100% Madison.
I didn't find that in this movie though.
But that's the thing, is that people felt that way, but I feel like the movie was so good that even people who are like that, the film is a constant intrigue. There's not a boring part of this movie.
Here's what I would argue in defense of I need to Wikipedia to see where this movie is going to go.
I wasn't attacking you, but that
I know,
is the thing.
But I do feel the need to like expand on it a little bit, because if a movie's good and keeps me guessing, I won't feel the need to do that, because I'll have faith that it's going to go somewhere and that I'm going to get the answers to my questions.
Right.
Or if I don't get the answers to my questions, I'll be left with a satisfying end that tells me why those questions weren't answered. When I start Googling shit, it's because I'm like watching and I'm like, I don't really see them wrapping this bitch up in the next 40 minutes in a way that's going to be pleasing to me. So like, and if a movie is, if I'm Googling things as I'm watching the movie, sometimes it's just because I don't know who's who, like when I'm watching like The Godfather or something. But like, I can't tell who the fuck is, I don't know what's going on in that movie. I'll admit it. I don't like it very much.
Part 3 is so bad.
I don't care for The Godfather very much.
I love The Godfather, but that's okay.
Me too.
I don't really like it, but that's fine. But yeah, but like if I'm Googling to like see what's gonna happen in the end, it's because I'm trying to put together the pieces of the movie that the movie is not putting together for me. So if that makes sense.
So
but like if it is successfully intriguing and it is successful at making a mystery that I'm interested in, then like I'm not going to do that. And that's why I think that this movie is different from like other movies where it takes too long to get you to the, like, you know what I mean? Like this movie.
No, I get it. Yeah. Like
this movie doesn't take too long for me.
Sometimes it's such a dedication to watch a movie, and then this movie is not doing a good enough job of keeping me interested.
Yeah,
for the
correct.
Twist. But there are people out there who, it doesn't matter how great the film is, they don't like twists. There are people that suffer from, I need to know what's happening right now.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
Franny used to be like that, where we'd watch a movie, she'd be like, I don't understand what's going on, this pisses me off.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't have to have all the answers all the time, as long as as long as the movie is making you ask interesting questions, and also is proving to you as you watch it that you're going to get either answers or, I mean, because like, you don't always have to get the answers to those questions, but like that you're gonna come out of it feeling satisfied and not like, what, that was fucking stupid.
I think this movie's got a definitive taste, like it's got a definitive real style, and
which I like. I like a commitment to an aesthetic more than anything.
And you know, he involves like the cult aspect of it as well as like the period of time, and you know, like the Jeff Bridges character is so beautifully written. Because he's a sleaze. He's a total scumbag. But at the same time, like, you're like, fuck.
My heart is breaking.
Yeah.
Like, that's my fucking grandpa, I've decided.
And then you kind of, it twists around the character's perspective so effectively. Like, the John Hamm character is a real quick example.
Right.
Where you think John Hamm is... What did you just grab?
There's a bug that landed on your mic stand. So
Did you get him?
I think so.
Scared
I don't know.
the hell out of me. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that character goes from like you think he's like a racist asshole in like the first 5
Yeah.
minutes, and then you find out that he's an officer of some sort of law, that he's looking for the private tape of what we believe to be JFK having sex with a woman, and
then just immediately kills him right after you get like attached to this
not just that,
character,
but you see that the moral compass is there because he's worried about this quote unquote kidnapped girl,
right?
And that's a complete total reverse of what you're introduced to him as in the film.
Yeah, and like it's really interesting too because
all
like
the characters go through that,
and like every character in this movie has like a persona, a part that they're playing who is not who they actually are, and that's like really fun. In
a way, it's almost like, it's almost like a murder mystery without the murder mystery. Like they're really they're assigned these roles of like room number 4, room number 5, and they're pretending to be one person when really they're somebody totally different.
Else. Yeah, and I think that's really fun,
especially when you think that. In the beginning, the guy who runs the hotel, you think he's like this drug addict sleazeball.
I like low-key thought that he was going to be... Throughout the film, they talk about a murder that took place.
Yeah.
And I really, for a very long time, thought it was the guy running the hotel. I don't know why. I don't know what made me think that. I don't know why I had it in my head, but I was like, it's going to be...
Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock.
I was like, it's going to be him. It's going to be him. And it wasn't.
No.
And...
I know this is a film like reviewer cliche, but it subverts your expectations legitimately.
Yeah, and I like that.
And the music in the movie is just...
I was just gonna say that I like that. Like the music in this movie is the music that I listen to already, like by myself. So I've
been trying to get Madison to watch this forever because I'm like, this is so her aesthetics, like through and through.
It is truly like I like. If I had my way, I would live in the universe that movie set up for me. I would just be there all the time. But yeah, like so I really like the music because that's the music that I listen to as a person. So
if you could compare, if this is a question for everybody, of the characters, who are you the most like?
That's a good question.
Because they are different enough to where I feel like it's a very definitive answer what you give, and that's including the Chris Hemsworth character because. He's actually a lot more complicated than you on your first viewing when you rewatch it.
Yeah.
You're like, he's very much like kind of like a weak-willed person and is like just trying to fake it till he makes it. Like I'm totally worthy of the air I breathe, I swear, and he knows he's not.
Yeah.
So who do you guys most relate to out of all the
characters? I want to let somebody else go first because I need to like stew.
I'd probably say like the older sister. She's just like trying to help.
Trying to keep it together.
Yeah, she's trying to keep it together, trying to keep
acting
her
like
little...
a bad bitch when really she's like totally terrified.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like
pretty accurate.
trying to just sort of like get her younger sister out of this bad situation and away from this terrible man.
Frani?
I mean, like, I don't know if I necessarily relate to the character that much. I guess in an aspect, but not like necessarily what he does with said aspect. But John Hamm's character.
I was totally gonna say that's definitely
that's
who you are.
Me 100%.
Puts up a front, but is actually like a very caring and a very nice person.
Like I'm not putting up a racist asshole front, but
you are putting up a front.
I totally
you come off cold to people you don't know.
I do,
and then they get to know you and they're like, oh, it's just a little Franny sweetie pie. For me, it's definitely the singer. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like 1,000%.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like constantly like, I'm going to be creative, I swear to God. And even though I keep absolutely failing, I'm just going to ignore the fact that I'm failing and just keep going. That's me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's me.
Like,
through and through.
I hate to say it, but the more I think about it, I think I'm the Chris Hemsworth character. Like, I like it. I so much want people to listen to what I say and to think that it is valuable and to think that I am valuable.
And you think you have it figured out.
And I do. I think that I think that I have the answers. And like I know that about myself. Like if I had a flaw, it would be that I am arrogant. I don't know about arrogant, but like I think that I've got it. I think that I don't need any help from anybody. I think I know better than most people, which I know isn't true, and I know it's terrible, but like I just have a thing. I don't know.
No, I totally like understand where everybody's coming from, and all these characters are characters.
Yeah.
Like they're over the top examples.
I have a slight superiority complex.
Yeah,
and like I try not to show it. I try not to let people know that like.
I mean, I feel like everybody in this room has peeked behind the curtain a little bit.
Unfortunately. Yeah. And so yeah, it's like that. Like, I want people to listen to what I say, and I want people to think that what I say is valuable because I think that it's valuable. But at the same time, like, I never want to be vulnerable ever in my life.
And I feel like the cool thing about the characters is it's all about secrecy. Every single character has a representation of a hidden emotion or personality. Like
why I relate to the John Hamm character so much is like I'm really like not going to be my full self unless I'm like in private. Like I feel like most of the time I kind of like play a part to most people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I mean, watching the Chris Hemsworth character, I was like, he's got some good points actually. Like I mean, what he's kind of about actually makes sense. He just doesn't live it. Right. And I don't think I relate to him in that sense, but like I think that's the character I relate to because it's like I enjoy when people listen to me and I enjoy when people take what I say seriously, and I love the idea that people are sitting listening to me say these words right now. Like that does it for me.
And for me, it's all about like I mean, I'll do any kind of compromise as long as it's within my dream. Like,
and I will not compromise.
It's heavily implied that she compromised and still didn't get the music career she wanted.
Yeah,
and then also her turning a cheek to a man who stole a shit ton of money and be like, just give me half. Like that's me for sure. Like I'm just like, I got a goal in mind. I'm pretty much gonna just step on over that goal and just keep going and not really worry about the moral compass aspect of it.
And yeah, and I think like for myself as well, like I do have like a moral code in such a way that like I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that.
Hold on, is anybody else getting just attacked by bugs?
Yep. No, I am not having that issue at all.
I'm getting attacked by tiny bugs.
Do we need to like pause for a second or?
I don't think there's any way to fix it.
Okay. I'm not having that issue.
We just live in an old house by the Ohio River. It gets buggy. It gets gross. We are moving. We are
not having any issues
getting out of here.
No, I feel fine. It's just on your side. I don't know.
No, like I've been attacked multiple times. One has almost landed in my eye.
Oh,
I'm
God.
in a war zone.
One did land in my eye earlier. That's why I was like, crazy.
But yeah,
anyway.
I think that brings up a good point about like how dynamic the characters are. Now I feel itchy now that you mentioned it, but wasn't having.
I mean, it's just like little boys.
They're very small. Like you'll see them out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah, like every character in this movie is like so dynamic, and the way that all the stories come together is really like dynamic and interesting. And I just love those scenes where they're in that back hallway where they can sort of look in through the mirrors.
Yeah, that's such a great scene.
And it's kind of cool because it's like through those mirrors you get to see both how the characters see themselves and how they really are, which is like interesting.
And they score a scene with the singing, which is amazing.
Yeah,
it's such a cool idea.
Yeah, it's so good. And yeah, like we said, like all the music in this film is really, really good.
I mean,
it really was.
Through and through, yeah. And then like I'll just go ahead and say negative about it just so we aren't just completely kissing out to it, because I really do love it. I'm obviously gonna rate it really high. A negative I did have, though, was the incessant need to, like... This is going to sound like I'm being, like, so pretentious. We got re-shown things from different perspectives, which is cool. But I feel like in some cases that was just to, like, educate us on a scene. Like, when we multiply saw John Hamm's character shot, that was a really cool idea to, like, show it 3 different ways. But also, I feel like as an audience member, we could have assumed that the singer character saw what happened, and we didn't have to see all that laid out. Which means, as an alternative, I would have liked more time with Chris Hemsworth's character.
I also would have liked that.
Yeah.
Same.
I feel like so much of the movie is based around the hallway and the John Hamm character being shot. And I'm like, which is cool, but it feels like the movie's got great pace. And it stops
real hard. And I would like to have known a little bit more about the two sisters. Because they sort of like flashback and alluded to something happening in their childhood, but I would have liked to know more, and I would have liked, because we got the flashbacks. I would have liked a
laid out scene of the sister murdering those people.
Yeah, because like we got the flashbacks to the sister finding Chris Hemsworth's character and like all of.
Hey, Boots. By the way,
yeah.
If you know Chris Hemsworth, it's really hard to accept his English accent, like his American accent, but you can do it. It's possible.
I don't really hate it. But
you're in California now.
You're in California now. Like it is very much like welcome to California, but that's how people sound there. Especially at the time. But it's just like a real. It's a learning curve because you're like, you don't sound like Thor right now.
I've never been more attracted to Chris.
More attractive.
No, I've never been more attracted to Chris Hemsworth than in this role.
Like, I don't even like dudes, but Chris Hemsworth had it going on in that role.
It was tight.
Right?
It's something. I think it was the hair for me, really.
Something about the sleaziness of him. And
the sleaziness in the hair. Like, it's the same reason that I'm like a little in love with a young Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
like Kurt Russell in Big Trouble in Little China really, really does it for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, I think I would be a part of his little cult.
And what fucks me up is like Chris Hemsworth has kind of picked some bad pictures.
Yeah.
And this is a good picture, and it still didn't perform. So it's like, it's gonna be really hard after all this Marvel stuff is completely done.
Yeah, and like I feel bad for Chris Hemsworth a little bit because it's like everybody knows him to be Thor, but he actually like he's a good actor,
sure,
and he can do other stuff.
He's even good in that Red Dawn remake that a lot of people don't like. Like I personally like him in that movie.
And I really liked him in the Ghostbusters reboot. I thought that he was like very like
please comments don't hurt us.
He was a high point. He was a really high point of that movie, and I liked that movie generally, which I know that like I can get roasted for, but that's fine. But yeah, he was like a high point in that movie, and I really liked him in it, and I thought he was funny.
Oh, and he was the worst part of that movie. That movie was trash.
I don't know.
I often find him funny, and I often find him.
I don't know if he was the worst part of that movie. I really don't agree with that.
The character was stupid.
I mean, I think that there were worse parts of that movie.
Kate McKinnon was the worst part of that movie. Everything she said, everything she did.
I'll agree with that. She was the worst part of that movie. She did make the freaking queef joke right at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
5 seconds in. We're going with a queef joke. It's PG.
We didn't have to do that.
I just don't like when they ever do a character that's so dumb they don't understand basic human functions, like Chris Hemsworth.
I mean, it was just kind of like funny and spoofy, especially because they had that like kind of a play on the secretary that the original Ghostbusters movie had. Like, I don't know. It was just kind of fun. And I liked him for that. I liked his little like nerdy, adorable like innocence.
But we're not reviewing Ghostbusters, though, y'all.
No, we're not. But
just a brief tangent.
I just don't want to be attacked.
Yeah, I mean, all this to say that like Chris Hemsworth should get to do more.
Yeah, this should have gotten some kind of Golden Globe for him.
Yeah, because I thought he was very good in it, and he
it's not quite Oscar worthy.
Super convincible cult leader type. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's that scene where he's like walking through the field of flowers with all the followers behind him, and like the Mamas and the Papas 12:30 is playing, which is a song that I love. It's just that does it for me, dude. That's it.
For me, it was when he was walking on the state line with the rain.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
Symbolic of just like, he's literally like on the edge. Like he could go either way. This dude is completely unpredictable.
And then also like he didn't fucking wear shoes to this either.
No, hell no.
No shoes.
I love it.
That's how Bridget rides around in my car. She would just leave the house and didn't even fucking wear shoes.
You got like a doxing issue with Bridget today. I just wanted to let you know.
I just wanted to give Bridget a little opportunity.
You know who's the worst? Just like every 5 seconds.
Oh, that's not true. I love Bridget.
I didn't say that was true. You're the one saying it.
Yeah, I don't like to wear shoes if I don't have to.
She's anti-shoe.
I get it. I don't want to.
Yeah, I love the aesthetics of this movie. I love a movie that has an aesthetic vision. Mm-hmm. And I think all movies should have aesthetic visions.
Oh, and there is one other thing that I didn't so much like about it. I just felt like the Vietnam flashback scene was just like a little too much. Like we could have cut it a little bit. It's just a little too beefy. Especially with how much they cut of the good shit, like with Chris Hemsworth's character. I think
there
was some fat to trim. That's the main point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that some people didn't had complaints about the pace of this movie, and I understand that. I didn't really have much of an issue.
Overall, I didn't. But.
I didn't have much of an issue with that, but I could see why that would be your complaint, and I could definitely think of some scenes that like you could have shaved down a little bit just to make it a little shorter. Like, I'm not saying cut any one scene out, but there were a couple scenes where, like, okay, you could have cut a little bit from it, and then made overall that movie a little bit like, tighter.
Reallocate some of the time. Like,
yeah.
That, and the other thing is, I don't know if we needed an actualization of the bank robbing scene. Like, I just feel like that scene, there could have been a better way to relay that information to us, that that's who he is, and that was his brother and all that stuff. And then like the scene where like it's in court and it's kind of campy. He's like, "We'll be fine," and then it cuts to the. I don't know if that was like the best, but it didn't bother me that much. But when the rest of the film is just so like, the editing is so clean cut, perfect. Like like the beginning of the film when he's hiding the money. That is some of the best editing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that's great.
And then it was like I think it was Nick Offerman who was the guy from Parks and Rec. I think he was the brother, which was an interesting choice too. And then I remember when we got to the brother scene, Bridget yells out gay rights, and I'm like, no, they're brothers.
Yeah. And the reason I said that was because, like, they say that if, like, somebody stares at your lips, it means they're attractive to you, and I watched,
that definitely isn't true, by the way.
One of them,
I stare at everybody's lips because I'm deaf, so I read
stare at everybody's
Listen,
lips because I'm looking for tells. I'm like, are you bullshitting me right now?
Maybe Nick Offerman was just really attracted to Jeff Bridges, and who can blame him?
I'm hard of hearing. I get yelled at about it all the time at work. Customers don't believe me because I'm in my 20s, but god damn it, I can't hear shit.
Big same. But that's why I thought gay rights. But I was mistaken.
Yeah.
And I realized my mistake, and
it's a big mistake.
Have
you guys noticed how much incest is like a point on Mentalist, by the way? I've been watching.
I know. It's like all the time.
They're like really into incest.
You did a hard cut to Mentalist, by the way.
I was just thinking about it.
It's just a show that we've all been watching.
Yeah. But I'm all... Listen,
hard
people, a majority of people know what the fucking Mentalist is, okay?
I know, but you did a hard cut. I was just laughing.
We went off on a tangent on our podcast.
I'm sorry.
God forbid. Let's do the searching podcast again where we just relay everything that happened in the movie and just
We should do that.
That was terrible.
We should definitely post
it was a good
that could be paid. That should be Patreon content.
Oh,
like
shit, the failed first one. Yeah.
The deep cut that we never
did.
Wow.
With somebody
Bridget
who's
and
not
Frani
even...
combined into one man. That's crazy.
One man.
To rule them all.
I was sitting in there, I was listening. I was just very quiet.
I don't even
But
think
the incest thing isn't
there.
just like, that's not something I just know. Like, that's like.
No, they do it all the time.
I mean, a lot.
Like we've watched like 4 episodes, and I think they've done it in like 2.
They've done it definitely in 2.
Fuck's sake, man.
Definitely in the first one.
The writer was just like, it'd be really messed up. And they're like,
I think that
they're
like trying to find like the edgy shit, be like incest. We're putting that in here.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It worked for Veronica Mars.
We're gonna sprinkle in a little.
I've
incest.
never seen the end, but I'm just guessing that Patrick Jane just fucks Red John and it's his brother. Like, that's what I'm expecting. That's the end of the show for me. I haven't seen the end of the show ever, but I think that that's what's gonna happen.
I think when we were talking about Bad Times at the El Royale the other day, we made a joke that it was gay rights for the hotel like bellhop desk guy and Jeff Bridges,
which
I think we said there's nothing gayer than Catholic guilt, which like I just want to say that again.
There was like a sweet relationship between those two. I don't know if it was gay, but there was like a super sweet relationship that I feel like me being like a total daddy's boy because my dad's my best friend.
You are. Every time there's a dad centric scene or a dog and a man centric scene, you just turn to pudding.
It's called emotional manipulation, and films do it all the time.
They get you. Yeah, I was like, Jeff Bridges, you're my fucking grandpa now. Which is how I kind of always feel when I look at him, but like especially here.
Do you like Crazy Heart? A lot of people don't, and a lot of people.
I don't think I've seen it actually.
If you're a Jeff Bridges guy.
You know what movie he was in that I really liked was and I feel like it didn't really get a lot of recognition. I think
it better not be R.I.P.D. because I will throw you out of this room.
I think it didn't get a lot of recognition because like I think there were a lot of other movies that came out that same year that people really liked, but he was in that movie Hell or High Water, and I love that. I actually really liked that movie, and I feel like it didn't get a lot of like.
That's
hype.
with that other boy, the Star Trek boy.
Yes.
What's his name?
I can't think of his name, but yeah, I know
Chris Pine.
Yes,
that was
Chris
incredible.
Pine.
I'm a magical man. I just pulled that out of my ass.
I really liked that movie, and I really liked him in it, and I don't know. I just think that movie should have gotten a little more hype. I mean, he was nominated for something for being in that movie, right? Jeff Bridges.
I don't remember.
Did he get a Best Actor nomination? I think he kind of might have, but I think he was like not.
I don't know. That was the
he
same
was
year.
not a contender for that movie.
That was the same year with Thoroughbreds, and I feel like that movie got fucked even harder.
I loved fucking Thoroughbreds.
Anyway, Bad Times at the El Royale.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
What a
Music.
guy.
Incredible aesthetic and awesome costume design and cinematography. Everything felt the period. Everything in the movie.
Have you guys seen The Big Lebowski?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I know you've seen it. I'm not asking you.
Well, my Blu-ray copy still hasn't been opened, so I'm guessing she hasn't seen it.
All right, then whatever.
I've not seen it.
She's never seen The Graduate either.
I've not seen it.
My
Bridget
cousin
hasn't seen The Graduate either.
I
but
do
that's
have
fine.
a cousin with a Big Lebowski tattoo, though.
What is The Big Lebowski? I
Shout
remember
out.
us talking about this, but
Should we shout him out?
Yeah, Ian.
shout
Ian,
out Ian for
if
your
you're-
Big Lebowski
If
tattoo.
you're definitely not listening to this, but you should
I
be.
mean, he supports it.
Okay,
I
can
think
you,
he's
can you
subscribed.
tell me? I know we've talked about this before, but can you tell me what the tattoo is?
It's like the dude from it.
Like, is it
and
like his face?
It's like
Is it Jeff Bridges?
It's a minimalist tattoo of like the dude.
like an outline, like a silhouette. type
Yeah,
thing.
it's pretty dope.
I think if you're,
I've only seen it on Instagram, not in person.
like, what Big Lebowski tattoo would I get?
I've never seen it. I need to
Just
see it.
John Goodman.
Yeah, I would get a White Russian tattooed on my body, and be like a
Have
little.
you ever actually had a White Russian?
Yeah, I have.
They're phenomenal.
I like them. They're good. I can understand why he's always drinking one because they're pretty good. And just like have it say underneath.
Weird relation with Chris Hemsworth. He became the dude in the Avengers movie. So full circle.
But then like underneath my White Russian, I'd be like, I'm holding a beverage here, you know,
Jesus Christ.
because it's just what a fun movie that is.
Yeah, it's a good one for sure.
I love that movie.
And Bad Times at
That's
El
like-
Royale.
That's my
is-
ideal lifestyle, I think.
Oh God.
like next to Bad Times at the El Royale being my ideal aesthetic, like I just wanna drink White Russians and go bowling and smoke pot.
That sounds litty. As a
Like,
titty.
is that not like the life that you always
Did
dreamed
you ever
of?
see that Disney Channel original movie where they were like bowling, and this girl came up with a magic like perfect bowl by spinning the ball down the lane?
I've never
It's the
seen
most
that in my
fucking
life.
ridiculous film you will ever watch.
That's
She's
really
like,
funny.
we need to make this last strike or the bowling alley's gonna close.
Why?
And
Why
I
is-
swear to God.
What does that have to do with it?
I don't know. And they're like, how can we make sure we make the shot? Jimmy's arm it's broken. And then she's like, hold on.
Jimmy.
I've done all the calculations and I've come up with the perfect technique. Watch how I do this, or watch and learn, or some shit. And then she sits down like Indian style, like crossing her legs on the floor,
Right.
grabs the bowling ball and spins it down the lane. And for some reason, it's even slower than you'd imagine. Like, you know how slow it would be? It's even slower than that. And she gets the strike, and they save the bowling alley.
Wow.
And all these
Amazing.
13-year-olds work there, probably against child labor laws.
Wow. That's great.
If anybody knows what that movie's called, leave it in the comments and we'll review it. I feel like I just
I'm
did,
trying to
actually. 2 out of 10.
What would I call that movie?
Striking Out.
Maybe.
Turkey Day.
Haha. Spin it. Exclamation point.
But then they know how they're going to do it at the end. It's given away.
You're right.
What about
Bowling for soup.
Stay in Your Lane?
Oh no.
Stay in your lane.
Bowling for Soup.
Gutter ball.
Gutter Ball's good, but it sounds too much like Moneyball. Anyway.
I want to make a Moneyball parody film called Gutter Ball.
Where
It's
he's-
just about
he's-
bowling.
No, he just like finds he's able to predict the statistics of bowlers, and they start betting a bunch of money on that.
That's what I'm about. Like, I want to make a parody Moneyball.
We could totally make
Gutter
that.
Ball.
I could totally be Jonah Hill.
There's this really good episode of documentary now about bowling. I can't think.
Yes, with
it's in
Michael
the-
C. Hall. It's
yeah,
so
it's in
good.
the most recent season, and it's really, really
So
fucking funny.
Anyway, are we done talking about it? That's the vibe I'm getting. If anybody,
I don't
has
know.
anything else
I
for
mean,
that.
I think we've sung its praises sufficiently.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's not really anything left to say about it.
All right, so let's rate it.
I'll go first. I have a pretty set rating on it, a 7. It was definitely like higher up on my list, but like there's just some things like like you said, I wish we would have focused more on like Chris Hemsworth's character and some stuff I didn't really care for too much in it, like the Vietnam flashbacks and like shit like that.
Flashback.
Singular.
Sorry.
I would give this movie. I would give this movie an A.
Wow.
A very high A because, like, ultimately this movie like checks all the boxes that I like for movies to check. So, yeah, even though like it's not perfect, and there are things that like one could change about it. Ultimately, it does it for me. It's the kind of movie I like, and I liked it. So there it is.
Fuck yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes it just has to be the kind of movie you like, and then you like it.
I'm gonna give it a 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. All the twists and turns, and it was thrilly, and I thought everyone did a really good job. And
I would watch it again.
I would definitely watch it again.
For me, it's also an 8.5 out of 10.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think the year it came out, for me, if it was like I'm in charge of the Oscars, it would totally have been nominated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it got fucked by Hotel Artemis.
Yeah.
Which is like a 4 out of 10 movie for me.
Yeah, I don't remember Hotel Artemis that well, which maybe speaks to its quality.
I just remember Dave Bautista just being real fucking buff.
Isn't Jeff Goldblum in that movie?
Mm-hmm.
I thought so.
He sure barely is.
He sure barely is, yeah. That's true. You expected from the trailers for Hotel Artemis to get a lot more Jeff Goldblum than you got. That's what I recall.
Like a lot more movie. Like nothing really fucking happens.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
My brother's dying in the next room. He's dying and the worst part is like they stole hard from Identity on that one because all the rooms were in states.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with your shit. Fucking he's staying in Nebraska right now. Oh, that's the big joke of the movie. And then Charlie Day's sitting there trying to be charming, and he just doesn't pull it off.
I forgot Charlie Day was in that fucking movie.
And there's like an assassin girl,
Yeah.
and she's from Have you ever seen was it Kingsman? Was it?
That's
was
what
it
I thought.
Kingsman?
I was thinking Kingsman, but then I wasn't 100%.
I think
it's
I think it's first Kingsman. Yeah. She was like agile but really bad at acting, so things go on, I guess.
So. Yeah, I think that this movie probably should have gotten more recognition. I wish I had seen it like when it came out because I think I would have really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still really enjoyed it. Like, it's not like I enjoyed it less for having seen it now, but
it's a super cool movie. And I also, I just really like when we're able to highlight a new movie that still has like its own message. Where if you're watching like newer popcorn movies, they're all either Bloodshot or Avengers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or as you've said with much disdain, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, and I want to see more movies like this movie. So, if you're out there, directors, make more movies like this one.
Yeah, be like Drew Goddard. Actually, make some art. It'd be cool. All right. Well, I think
Quentin keeps saying he's going to retire soon, and somebody's got to sort of take the reins from him on this style of filmmaking. And with any luck, it could be you, filmmaker out there listening.
Yeah, Ari Aster's kind of taken over for Tobe Hooper. He's making that good stuff. Jordan Peele's kind of taken over for all the other ones.
For all the others. So yeah, like he keeps saying he's going to retire or he's going to like kick the bucket at some point. So,
well, he's going to do 10 films, and he was on number 9.
That's what he always says. I mean, I don't know, like.
I mean, we'll see it when it happens, I guess. He's not even going to direct the Django sequel because of that rule.
Right. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see.
We sure will. All right, so let's...
Yeah, I guess that just went nowhere.
Yeah, well, sometimes...
I guess we'll see about that.
We talk, and we do talking, and we do it... We want to do for a living. Sometimes we'll talk, and then more talking happens, and I'm like, hey, what are you saying?
Yeah, I was like, that was a tangent that went to absolutely no place.
Anyway, so next week... in results of everything going on in the world right now, we're going to review...
As we mentioned before.
Yeah. But if in case you skipped the ad, which it wasn't an ad, but it kind of was.
But I mean, it was like a little...
In case you skipped our little announcement in the middle, we're going to be reviewing the incredible film Blindspotting. Absolutely fantastic.
Hell yeah.
And then also, since it's free for everybody out there, we're going to do Just Mercy. Yeah,
because we thought that would be a really good pick, and it's really accessible right now because, like Logan said, it's free literally everywhere, so you could just watch it.
And as for Blindspotting, you can get it off Amazon for $3.99. Or
and you should.
Worth every penny.
Or you can buy the physical copy on Blu-ray from Amazon for like $10. It's really worth owning.
Or if you know Logan, you can borrow it from him.
That's true. Anybody who I actually know, I'll let you borrow it. I would just give out the digital code to like one random person who needs it, but I think that's illegal. So I won't do that.
You're probably not allowed to do that.
Probably can't do that because I have a digital code that I don't need. It's just sitting in there.
Daveed Diggs is in it. If you like Hamilton,
Yes, it's
he's there.
very Hamilton-esque in some ways too.
I would argue it's better than Hamilton, but
Ooh, wow, I like that. I think that's true. I don't know if Bridget agrees with that, but I think that's true.
I don't know. I'd have to do some thinking. Some reevaluating of
I've never
Hamilton.
seen Hamilton, but I just love. I mean, I
most
feel
people
like this
have seen
message
it,
right
most
now
people
is so
listen to it.
important, and I
Yeah.
feel like if you want to get really jazzed about getting on board with this movement, watch Blindspotting.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's very, very, really like relevant. Like it's
it's
probably
just
the most
gonna
relevant
upset
movie
you
you
and
can
make you
find
want to
on
get
it.
out there and do something.
and it's also like it's also very funny, and it's very light. I expected it to be darker than it is given the subject matter.
I remember,
but I don't think of it as a film that's gonna make you depressed. Like in my mind,
funniest thing ever was watching you and Bridget react to the opening of the film, like when they were talking in the car, and just seeing like puzzlement on both of your faces. Like, did he just put in like Hustle and Flow? Like, what is this? And it's like one of the best movies.
Yeah, it's so good. It's really good. And yeah, I haven't watched Just Mercy yet. I'm sure it's good. I guess
saw
I'll
it
speak more on that.
Theaters
I'm
because
pumped.
I'm a movie boy.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, so we'll see. We'll watch it soon, I guess. And then should we talk about what's gonna happen the week after that?
Well, have we fully landed on what movies we're gonna do? I think.
Well, maybe we don't have to say the movies right now. Maybe we can. I mean, I think that we've just kind of decided, but maybe we don't say the movies right now.
we say it in the next one, maybe.
Just say the concept.
So yeah, the week after next, we are gonna do, because June is Pride Month and I am gay and Bridget is too.
Hey.
We're gay together. We're in lesbians. We're gonna watch some gay movies. We're coming down to like a few that we're going to decide between. So I won't say them yet because I don't think a verdict has been made. But we are going to watch them. We're going to be gay about them.
You don't know if we're gonna watch I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry or not?
That's the best gay movie. I personally just wanted to watch Top Gun, but everybody said that's not technically a gay movie. So or we could watch Reservoir Dogs.
Madison,
We're
can
already
find
doing
some
Reservoir Dogs.
I know,
sliver
we're
of
already going to watch
gay.
Reservoir Dogs. What'd you say?
You got a good like gay detector in movies. Like you can find a sliver of gay in anything.
If it's there, it's there, baby. Gay rights. Ratatouille. We can watch Ratatouille.
Wait, hold on. What's gay in Ratatouille?
Remy.
What about him? How's he gay?
I can't get into it right now.
Wait, hold
She
on.
has this whole thesis.
Get the fuck out of here. How is he gay? What makes him at all sexual in any regard?
It's not just about being sexual. It's about...
Hold on. No. Your gender, your sex has nothing to do with being like, how does that work?
Okay, it's about a small town boy, a rat boy,
Okay.
who wants more than like his life has to offer him.
The pursuit of happiness, yeah. Not inherently gay.
Shut up, can you let me fucking finish?
Sure, I'm just...
He wants more than his life has to offer him, and his family doesn't understand why he would possibly want to cook. Like that's against nature.
Still sounds like
for
a
him.
generational divide mixed with the pursuit
Shut
of
up!
happiness.
It's against but it's against nature. It's against nature's way for this rat to cook. Let me finish. Don't even open your mouth. I see you. And then he goes and he learns that anyone can cook, and like even though he's successful, his family still doesn't quite understand it. Like they're never gonna fully understand him because they can't relate to what he's going through. And in conclusion, Remy is gay.
The
If we were actually doing
the film argument you've just conducted is essentially the verbal
coming of age movie.
It's the
is
verbal
gay.
actualization of a baby chiseling the square into a circle to fit it in the
Shut
box.
up! That's not true.
That was so stretched, contorted, and made.
If we were actually going to do a Ratatouille review, I could make the case for a gay Remy. But
I love that. We don't
I
have-
want a
We don't have enough
PowerPoint.
time on this podcast we run. They're pulling me away. I can't. They're pulling me away.
I just feel like Ratatouille is gay. Sound off in the comments.
I feel like that is such a stretch.
I don't know.
Like, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be a great message.
But it can be though.
But it isn't though.
Why not?
Because it's not.
Ratatouille's gay because I'm gay and I like it.
That's fine if you want to put it in that perspective. But the movie's not necessarily about a gay rat.
But it's not necessarily not about a gay rat.
Well, it kind of isn't.
We have no evidence that Remy isn't gay.
We have no evidence that Remy's ever thought about any sort of like mouse, penis, and or vagina in regards.
First of all, he's a rat. Second of all,
unbelievable.
Second of all,
a bug hit me in the face right when I was talking, and she used that to take advantage of my misspeaking.
Second of all, I mean, I'm assuming that Remy the rat has had the desire to reproduce, as is. I mean, not necessarily reproduce, but has the desire to be sexual.
He's an asexual conduit of a conversation. Like he's not meant to be a sex. That's not a part of who he is.
He has a gender.
Sure, I guess, but not really.
Yeah, he's a man rat. He's a male rat.
Sure, but in what terms?
What do you mean in what terms?
He's an entry character. I mean, to gender identify him seems kind of out of the question, or even worth a point at all.
I think that he identifies as a male rat. I don't think. I think it's
I've
him.
never heard him be like, I'm a man rat.
Especially
not, I'm a man rat, get me another man rat now.
I'm just saying that
he's never forced Linguini to walk over to some hot male rats.
I'm just saying that you have as much evidence for Remy being a straight rat,
but
as
I'm not
I
making
have
the
for
claim.
Remy being a
I'm
gay
not making
rat.
the claim that he's straight. I'm making the claim he isn't necessarily gay.
I mean, but he could be gay. That's my point.
When she backs into the corner with her little square box that originally...
He could definitely be gay. Just, I mean, like, he could be. You don't know.
But you were saying he definitively was.
I mean, he is because I say so, but I'm just saying that, like, you don't have any
You're in California now.
You have no evidence that he's not gay.
You have no evidence that he is.
It's in my heart.
I don't consider him straight or gay. I consider him the entry point for me to understand this film about overcoming the odds and doing something different.
The different thing is being gay.
No, it's not. It's cooking as a rat.
But when he says anyone can cook, like anyone can
he's
be
like,
who they want to
be.
be.
He didn't go, especially me, the gay rat.
Yeah, but it's anyone can be who they want to be.
Yeah, but you're forcing him to be somebody he isn't necessarily.
And like his family,
he can be whatever the fuck he wants.
His family's never
Quit
gonna
putting him in a
fucking
box.
understand him. That's where that's
Did
that's
you
where
know?
It hits me in
Did
my
you
heart.
know
Like where
that
his
you
family,
can be a straight person and still not be understood by your parents?
But like his thing is like it's unnatural to his parents that a rat would cook. It goes against God's way.
But the same thing could be said about me being an atheist with me and my father. He doesn't understand it. And it's something he's overcome and something that I've overcome. It's not a tale about gay or straight.
Sure it is.
I mean, maybe for you, and it can be, but that doesn't mean definitively for everybody else that Remy is like straight gay.
It is, and he is.
I mean, there's nothing.
I mean,
to
I'm just
that.
saying that like there's an argument to be made for a gay Remy in 2020.
I'm not saying he couldn't be gay. Let's be clear. Let's clarify. I'm saying there is nothing in the tale or the story that indicates specifically that he is a gay rat.
But there is nothing in the tale or the story that indicates specifically that he is anything but a gay rat.
No, it indicates that he's a rat that cooks.
But it doesn't indicate that he's not gay either.
It doesn't indicate that he is.
I don't understand why in this our month of Pride, you have such an issue with this rat being gay.
That's putting words in my mouth. What I am trying to do is identify that this film, Disney, which would never, was not trying to make this stance in 2012.
It never has to be intentional.
There is nothing.
Do you think that they were trying to make Tom Cruise gay in Top Gun? No, Tom Cruise just exudes that energy, and Scientology is beating it out of him.
There is nothing inherently gay about Remy, though. What, he's good at cooking, so he's gay? Like, what made him gay?
I don't understand why you have such
Quit
an issue.
making me sound like Ben Shapiro. I'm just pointing out the fact.
I don't understand why you have such a problem with a gay rat.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm saying you're spreading it like it's fact, and it's not.
Maybe it is fact. Why do you have such a fucking problem with it?
You can't say maybe it's fact. That's not how facts work.
But you seem to,
No. Don't put words in my mouth.
No, but
I don't seem to be like, it can't be gay. I'm saying we
there's
don't know
nothing-
either way.
But then why can't I say he's gay if we don't know either way?
I didn't say you couldn't say it. I'm saying you You can see him as a gay character because he's a conduit for you to be in the story.
He is
someone that you can relate to. Doesn't necessarily mean he's gay.
But you're acting like he can't be gay.
I did not say that.
Because there's no evidence.
Back me up here. Did I ever say he couldn't be gay?
For him being gay, but there's no evidence for him being
gay.
anything other than gay either.
You just said.
See, this is why I didn't want to get into it because this is not even a fucking Ratatouille podcast. This is about fucking Bloodshot.
But the fact is, you're saying that I said he couldn't be, which is not true.
You did say he couldn't.
No, I did not.
You implied it.
No. Okay. Here we go. Implications.
Why don't you just fucking admit that you hate gay rats?
Wow. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about? I'm the villain.
I feel like I need to stay out of this one.
I'm the villain in every conversation that isn't pro. Like this movie's definitely gay.
Shout out to the commenter, by the way, who said that we were a gay podcast. I love that for us.
Shout out to the other commenter who said not everything has to be gay all the time.
No, but you did it because it was the joke, and I really appreciated that. I love to
shout
be
out to all the
to.
commenters. And
yeah, if you comment, God bless you.
Please.
I
think what this verified is that we can't do a Ratatouille podcast because we'll just scream at each other.
Yeah, no, I don't think that we can do that. But somebody out there, please fucking back me up in the comments about fucking Remy. I know you're out there. I know you're with me, people.
It just seems like an unnecessary stretch.
Listen. We've already talked about how I need people to agree with what I say.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, Remy's gay. End of discussion.
Oh my God! Watch somebody come at me with like real facts, like you dumb motherfucker.
Hell yeah, dude,
but that's not gonna happen.
Nothing would make me happier than that. That would be a gift to me from you.
Okay.
Well, that's our show, everybody.
Anyway,
that's all, folks.
We'll miss you.